How's it going, guys? Eric and Giorgio here. The Romanian object of AIUD is incredible because it was found in 1973 at a depth of 10 meters, and it's a piece of almost pure aluminum. It was found in a depth of 10 meters, caked together with mastodon bones and mastodon teeth, which would illustrate that this object is at least 10,000 years old. When some universities conducted the research on this object, they determined that the aluminum is 94% pure. We, our society today, have made aluminum for about 200 years, but it's an artificial process. So how do we have a piece of aluminum that's perhaps 10,000 years old?
And you know, Giorgio, I remember some people have suggested that this is just a piece of modern aluminium which fell down from a backhoe, which is ridiculous because aluminium is never used on a backhoe. Aluminium is much too soft, so it's still a miracle.
So we have to continue the investigations, and the investigation is continued by you guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our next mysterious X-File vlog episode at RAMAR based on facts. I hope you enjoyed our preface with Eric and Giorgio, who belong to the world's leading experts regarding ancient mysteries and are our great partners of RAMAR and also our lovely friends. In this episode, we will present you the mystery of the AIUD-object, the metallic object which has been found in the year 1974, 2 kilometers east from the city called AIUD in Romania, carries following unsolved mysteries based on facts. Number 1. The origin and dating of the object. Number 2. The purpose of the object. Number 3. Traces of higher technological craftsmanship. And number 4. Higher conceptual knowledge.
Romania, 1974. On the banks of River Mureș, 2 kilometers east from the city called AIUD, a group of workers found 10 meters below ground 3 artifacts. A local researcher identified 2 of the artifacts as bones of a mastodon, and the third object he considered as a stone axe. He sent the artifacts to the Archaeological Institute of Cluj-Napoca in Romania for further investigation. There, they removed the layer of sand crust from the objects and analyzed that one artifact was a mastodon bone of the limbs and the second artifact was a back tooth of a mastodon. These mammoths species lived on Earth between 10 million and 10,000 years ago. The third object, however, wasn't anything near to a stone axe. First of all, it was made out of metal. Its measurements were 20.2 centimeters in length, 12.9 centimeters in width, and 7 centimeters in height, at 2.3 kilograms of weight. two cylindrical tubes with different diameters are built into the object. The third hole on the side was made to take samples for the analysis of the material. In the lower area of the wider tube, an oval deformation could be found. It's assumed it's from wearing out because a cylindrical axle was going through it. Also, they could analyze that the bottom and side walls were exposed to severe impact because there are traces at the bottom and side walls of being beaten due to collision with other surfaces. Around the whole object there was a over 1 mm oxidized patina layer, which makes this object nearly impossible to date. The object disappeared between 1995 and 2012 for unknown reasons in the Historical Museum of Cluj-Napoca. Finally, Mr. Lars A. Fischinger could locate it again and requested the company Hydro in Bonn, Germany, to analyze his sample he took in the autumn of 2012. Hydro is the company who invented the plug to seal the can of Coca-Cola and is the leading specialist for aluminum in Germany's car industry. In November 2012, Fischinger received the analysis from Hydro, and though the results were different than from the first analysis in 1975, the material could be clearly analyzed as aluminum. 18 elements have been addressed to be analyzed, but only 14 elements could be verified. Here you can see the laboratory report and a visualized graph of the contained elements. Professor Dr. Jürgen Hirsch in Bonn wrote in the laboratory report that the high amount of copper, zinc and magnesium are proof that the alloying of the object is very similar as used in aviation technology nowadays, but the exact mixture is unknown to past and present industrial usage. With the amount of iron and lead, Dr. Hirsch came to the conclusion these were traces of recycling, and the alloying was created to be able to be milled for construction. These facts bury some profound mysteries in them. Let us take a look at mystery number 1, the origin and dating of the object. Mainstream scientists claim the object is made of an ordinary Series 2000 aluminum alloy and isn't old at all. As well, certainly originates from the nearby metal factory Metallurgica and was a tooth of an excavator. This theory indeed appears plausible in the beginning, but no real facts or statements exist from Metallurgica that this object has been fabricated there. Also left without an explanation is the extreme patina around the object, or why it has been buried 10 meters below the ground just beside these mastodon bones. We live in a world where we take industrial production of high-tech developed equipment for granted. Even though 50 years ago, nearly nobody was in possession of a computer and smartphones came much later. 150 years ago, we just started the industrial era in England with steam trains. 1825, Danish physicist and chemist H.C. Ørsted invented the production of isolated aluminum through reduction of aluminum chloride. In America, the production of aluminum started in 1883 in the Alcoa factory. Aluminum is extremely resistant to atmospheric corrosion, much more than iron, for instance. It will create its own oxidation layer of few thousandth millimeters if it's exposed to atmospheric impact to prevent and stop further corrosion. And after that, the process is stopped, what scientists know up to date. Nowadays, craftsmen do chemical galvanized coatings to achieve artificial corrosion on aluminum for artistic styling purpose. After all, these facts lead us to the conclusion that it's impossible that the over 1 millimeter thick patina layer of oxidation could have been resulted in a natural short time period, like 50 or 100 years. No scientific experience exists for comparison to date this patina layer. It's only assumed that this would take ages. Researcher Florin Keorkita was one of the first persons in 1974 who analyzed this object together with metallurgic experts who stated that the analyzed sample of the material did show that the material was so unbelievable old that the structure began again to reform into a natural form. So the composition of the ingredients somehow degenerated already. Again, science has no experience and comparison for such a behavior. We are left with facts that prove the age of the AIUD-object has to be much older than our industrialization of aluminum. Hence, also the origin can't be from the nearby metallurgical factory. Also, some workers who worked in this factory would have certainly left a statement that such objects have been fabricated in metallurgica. The fact that the object has been 10 meters below ground beside the mastodon relicts also don't support this theory. In the end, what is for sure is it remains a mystery as long no clear evidence exists to answer exactly the questions from its origin and age. Mystery number 2. The purpose of the object. Mainstream guys claim, as mentioned earlier, that the object is a tooth of an excavator. We have to admit that also this theory seems plausible in the beginning. But after professional analysis of Christoph Nance, who is a professional mechanical engineer in the area of construction technique and development for the leading manufacturer of mobile and crawler cranes since 1999. This alleged theory doesn't hold water at all. Why? Very simple. because the hole to the wedge direction is rectangular and the hole of interchangeable excavator tooths are always in the direction of the wedge to bear the whole amount of force when digging into the soil. Also, don't the two holes make sense in this context? There is no practical benefit of them at all, according to a professional mechanical engineer who is working exactly in this field of expertise. UFO guys claim the AIUD-object is a foot of an UFO landing gear. Also, this theory appears feasible in the beginning, but after deeper analysis, also this theory has to be dismissed. A landing gear of a spacecraft can't or shouldn't be flat if designed professionally upon Christoph Dance. The foot should be designed spherical because the surface of a planet may not be flat at all. Hence, it should be designed to be capable to land on an uneven surface, and for this reason it can't be flat. We at RAMAR are neutral, as you see, and not on the side of either party. We are on the side of the reality and truth, whatever it may be or not. In the report of Christoph Dance, also other propositions are described and dismissed too as a valid theory. For example, the AIUD-object is analyzed and dismissed to be a construction of a hammer, a foot of a robot or android. But Christoph Dance has got several theories of his own. In one of them, he proposes the AIUD-object could have been a technical entity of some kind of crawler device, in where multiple instances of the AIUD-object would have been connected together. And maybe the purpose could have been some kind of digging device which is still unknown to us. Although we aren't lacking theories, the true purpose always still remains an interesting mystery. But we dare to conclude it wasn't an excavator tooth and neither an UFO landing gear. Mystery number 3 and 4 go hand in hand. We clearly see a technical design of the object, which requires a higher conceptual knowledge, which doesn't fit in the picture for the old age it is estimated for. Also, don't forget that Dr. Hirsch stated the composition of the elements of the material has a similarity with present aviation lightweight materials. So this has to be taken into consideration too for its production, from whomever it has been produced. It required a deep understanding of engineering and technological know-how.
We don't know if it originates from outer space of a technological advanced alien civilization or a very old culture living on our planet, but we know upon the fact that it's very odd and remains an unsolved mystery in our real X-Files. Let us add the mysterious facts of our AIUD-object onto our list of fingerprints of the unsolved mysteries. If you have any new suggestions, please leave a comment below or on our homepage as well. Please share this video to inspire your friends, and in case you didn't subscribe yet, to get updated, please subscribe. You can follow us on Facebook or visit our homepage to report a mystery, ask a question or give an answer, information or suggestion. All details and sources are in the description below. I'm happy to see you in our next episode about the next mysterious X-file based on facts. And be aware, from now on we delve deeper into the mysteries and their facts to get each time a better glimpse of the big picture. Until then, I wish you the greatest mystery of love and a very inspiring time. Take care.